We're back on Born Before 64, and we're doing a DIY project, and Valspar was sweet enough to give us the paint for the project, and we're redoing a table and 4 chairs. And what colors are we using, Marty?
Okay, so we've got a Swiss Cottage Black, a Quite Red, and a Coffee white.
Coffee white,
I believe is what it is.
Okay.
And then our other one that we've already used on the table and chairs has the primer sealer.
Right.
So we didn't have to sand or do anything. We just put the primer sealer on it. And
Right.
Today then we're going to ready to go ahead and put our colors on our table and get it going.
And this is the nice thing, is that you don't have to sand down. This is a regular table that had a little bit of shine on it, but not a lot, Marty. And the cool part about it is that I went to Lowe's, where they sell this wonderful paint, and this is really hot right now because you can use it on wood, you can use it on aluminum, you can use it on a lot of different things without worrying about it. You don't have to sand everything down. And this bonder took 2 coats. And now we're getting ready to use the black paint first. But what do you want to talk about before that?
Well, I was just, we were talking about getting our stuff ready to go. So we got our paint in that, and we, mixed our paint up, and I've got it in our pan. But always, always, always before you start a project again, even though you had just got that second coat on with the bonder, make sure that you're always wiping it off to make sure there's no dust in it at all. We're not in a dusty environment, but make sure if you wait a week or 2 before you actually get to painting, which sometimes it takes people to get back to, make sure you're wiping it off so that you don't have any dust on it at all. And then I always like to have just a damp cloth next to me whenever I'm painting, because more than likely or not, I'm going to have paint on me. So I just like to have it with me all the time.
And I use plastic gloves, Marge, because
have to feel it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to start painting the top here and get that done. So we're going to get this
and we're
going to
move everything out of the way. Just hand it to me, Marty, and I'll put it over here.
All right.
And the other thing you should do when you're using paint is you should put holes in the side of the top of the paint can with a wonderful little nail and a hammer, and just put little holes so that you can actually let the paint drain down into the actual paint can, right?
Right.
And that's what you did. So let's see where we're going to start.
All right. So I'm giving you the roller, and I'm going to take the paintbrush.
All right.
Actually, it's interesting because the paint, when we looked at it, it kind of looks like a charcoal gray. So, but I think it's going to dry just a beautiful shiny black, and it actually looks like it's just black going on. We're just going to be real careful to go ahead and get it on. It's not a real super thick paint, so it seems to be going pretty nice.
Okay, let's see what happens
on this side there.
Oh, wow. It actually is doing pretty well, Marty.
Yeah. Your roller actually is picking up a lot of paint and getting it on there. So we may or may not have to do 2 coats on this. It just kind of depends on how it dries. And again, sometimes that's a preference too. Also, when you're painting, if you feel like it looks dark enough, or if you feel like, I really kind of want a second coat on it, then too. And then another thing, I guess you could also do if you wanted to, since this is black and it's like a kitchen table, you could clear coat the top too to kind of protect the black against scuffs and dishes and forks and knives being set down on it once everything all clears.
Right.
All gets done on it. So I think we decided with this project we were going to do the tabletop black and the legs black, maybe offsetting a little bit with a little bit of color right here. Again, there's that black on me. And then do the chairs a red and white. So it's just going to be really beautiful in your new kitchens.
And our kitchen, this is a table for 4, and which I'm really excited about. And actually, this rolls beautiful, Marty.
It does. It looks like it's rolling really, really nice. Well,
it's funny because, I was using a paintbrush when we did the original start, and then I thought, why not roll it? It was so easy. So you can either roll it or you can use a paintbrush on it.
Yeah, and sometimes I think that's just a comfort level of
the way you like to do things.
What you like to do, yeah.
Right.
I tend to, when I'm using a roller, when I've painted rooms and stuff, I'm really messy. I have to cover everything.
Actually, this is a lot easier for me to use is the roller instead of the paintbrush.
Well, what I noticed with this paint is you're not getting splatter either.
No, I noticed that too.
It's pretty nice. So we're using a foam roller versus a more of a material roller, so maybe that's a little bit of the difference too.
That has a lot to do with it. I found out yesterday. I used the other roller yesterday, and it didn't give a nice smooth finish that this is giving to it right now. And you might want to use the paintbrush on top of this.
Yeah, just to add a little bit.
To add a little bit of
more to it.
Mm-hmm. So I was just going to suggest that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come out here in a minute. Just a second.
Yeah, actually that goes pretty.
Yeah,
darn
I don't
quick.
know. We'll see what happens when this dries. I think we are going to have to use maybe a second coat on this. I don't know.
Which
That's fine.
kind of how painting
And actually,
goes.
it doesn't really smell that bad, actually, Marty.
No, there's, we noticed that with the primer sealer, there was no
Yeah,
odor whatsoever.
no
And
odor.
there's no odor here either, which is it's really nice because, it's getting to be wintertime here and we're in the basement, so it's nice not to have be outside and have
Right.
the fumes and stuff. So sometimes
Yeah.
people hold off on do-it-yourself projects until the spring when they can get outside. But really, this is something you can very easily do in the
Yeah.
dead of winter, too.
And even if you're not an experienced painter, this hasn't been bad at all. And we're not using that much paint. I'm really surprised, Marty.
No. Looking at the cans, you think, oh, that doesn't seem like enough, but it really spreads really well.
Right. It does spread
So,
well. And so I'm down here like this.
Yeah, so it is looking,
Looking
really
great.
nice. Yeah, I think black was a nice choice for the top of this
I think so
table.
too. Because
it'll look
remember, the whole
really-
kitchen is red. Mm-hmm. And with white and brown, and it's pretty cool. So, did I tell you all the different things that we're going to be doing in the cooking show, which we're talking about, is that we received some beautiful appliances from Conchita Pro, and I'm really excited about it, actually. Very excited.
Now, I've not heard of that. Is that a newer company or have they been around for a while?
I think they've been around for a while, Marge.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? Do you want me to roll this on top of what you're doing, and then you
Yeah.
want to paint over it?
Yeah, go ahead. And,
Okay.
And that'll just add a little bit of smoothness to my brush
Yeah.
strokes.
I think so
Oop, there
too.
we-
What do you think?
Yep, pretty,
Yeah, I think so.
pretty easy. Yeah, pretty easy peasy.
Yeah, and I think you
Yeah.
could add a little bit more paint over there where I did that, and then we'll do
Yeah.
one over.
Yeah.
So, but see, it's funny how it does that.
And you could get really creative with this kind of stuff.
Oh, I
I've seen
think so,
people do
too.
like checkerboards on top of the tables, which are kind of cool.
Yeah.
That would be kind of neat. Something else too. When my kids were real little, we had ceiling tiles, and we would. I would pull them down and have them put their fingerprints on it. But something like this, if you have young kids, it would be fun too to just have them put their paint their hands and put them up underneath the table and put a year on it.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. They told me that you can even use your fingers with this paint. And by the way, it is washable. That's
Thank
what we
goodness.
found out. And even if you get it in your hair like I did, right, I'm going to have to move this, I think.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You're good to go.
It wasn't really that hard to get it out. It combed out, actually. I was really surprised.
The primer came out real easy when I was cleaning the brushes out. The primer
Yeah.
was easy, and that to me is always the biggest challenge too. Is cleaning up after you're done painting. It's like, oh, how much do I really want to clean up on all this stuff?
That's true.
That really went pretty quick with just a little bit of hot water and a little bit of soap. It just pulls it right out of your rollers and stuff.
Yeah.
Now I've known people who've taken plastic bags and put them inside
plastic
of,
bags?
like wrap this in a plastic bag and just use
Right.
the plastic bag, and then they just take the plastic bag off and they're done, and their pan then
Yeah.
is back to being clean again. So that's kind of a nice idea. Pinterest has a lot of just different help me little things if you're not an experienced painter of just little tricks to the trade that kind of help you out.
Where do you want to go with this paint can? Let's see. I'm going to hand it to you. I can hold it. It doesn't matter. So if you just want to go over my stuff
Yeah.
after I'm done here.
Well, I think we're
You
gonna-
can see that it almost looks like, I don't know if it's drying yet, but it dries really fast. And guess what? We need to take a little short break, and we'll be right back on Born Before 64.